Hi there guys, got a video here for you today on the AGT Uragan 2, and in this one what we're going to be doing is showing you how we converted the rifle over to have a removable bottle. So, as we can see at the front here, the rifle is now running the best fittings 220cc carbon bottle on the front, and the best part about it is that we can remove the bottle without having to degas the rifle. If we take a look at the standard Uragan 2 bottle, we see it's a fixed bottle, so to remove it and to work on the rifle, we have to completely degas the rifle and lose any air inside it. With the new bottle and valve, we can simply unscrew the bottle from the front, and before it comes off, just prove to you that the rifle does have air in it. So we see in the side there, just under 200 bar on the gauge. And there we have it. There's the bottle removed, so we didn't have to degas the rifle or anything like that. And the rifle itself is now completely out of air. We may still have some air in the regulator, so I'm going to let that go now. But there we have it. The bottle is still got about 200 bar of air in it, just under probably, and the rifle is fully degassed. If we wanted to, we could reinstall the bottle and get the rifle filled up with air again, although what I'll do is I'll put the rifle back to standard and we'll show you exactly how we convert the rifle over. Right then, so I've put the rifle back to standard. We've got the standard bottle back on there. I haven't filled the rifle back up with air as we are going to drain it to put the new parts on. So the parts that we're going to be using to complete this conversion are number one, a 220cc best fittings carbon fibre bottle. So they do two versions of this bottle. They do the 220cc and they also do the 300cc. These ones are slightly thinner than the standard FX bottles. So this one here is around 54mm, and that's just a little thicker than the standard Uragan 2 one. Larger diameter bottles such as the 480cc and the 580cc would work, although you would need to replace the shroud and remove the bottle cover and bottom Picatinny rail here. And in the end of the bottle itself, we're obviously going to need the FX style bottle valve, so this one here. This one is made by Best Fittings, although the standard FX one will also work. And that one may actually work a little better as it is black from the factory, whereas the Best Fittings one is stainless. So there we have it there. And finally, we need the FX bottle valve that's fitted on the impacts and the crowns. So I'll put the part number on screen now, but you can buy these fairly easily. And all this does is screw in the end there and allow us to screw in a FX bottle. With that all said and done, the conversion itself is really nice and simple. First thing we're going to do is remove the bottom Picatinny rail and bottle cover, and that's done using a 4mm Allen key. Once that's off, we can flip the rifle on its end and depressurise it by using a 2.5mm Allen key in this screw hole down here. So this rifle is already fully depressurised, but if your one was full up with air, you'd need to depressurise it before we can do any work. Although mine's already depressurised, so I'm going to redo up that screw there. With the rifle depressurised, the last thing we have to check is that there's no air left inside the plenum. To do that, we're going to dry fire the rifle in a nice safe direction. If you fire the rifle and the rifle sounds dead, i.e. no air is leaving the barrel, then it's safe to work on the rifle, as there's no air stored inside the plenum. Next thing we can do is unscrew the original bottle. The bottle itself does have this O-ring around the neck of it, so just make sure that that doesn't get lost or get stuck in the end. With the bottle removed, we can now install the FX bottle adapter, this part here. So on this one, it has both the doughty washers installed, the one on the front and the one on the back, although I have had to put a little spacer piece behind the doughty washer in order to get it to seal inside the Uragan. Saying that, I have ordered a extra thick O-ring that's going to fit in here, so when that comes I'm going to replace it. I'll put the size on screen now. But with that said, we can install the valve. This just screws in. I'll get it tight enough by hand, and then we'll take an adjustable spanner and get it nipped up. And there it is there, nice and tight. Next up, we're going to reinstall the bottle cover and bottom Picatinny rail. So to get this to work properly with a new bottle, I did have to put a small amount of brass shim stock between the bottom Picatinny rail and the bottle cover itself. So the brass shim stock I used was just 0.04mm thick, and I just put a small square of it here and here below the bolts obviously. If I'm honest, all them bottles are slightly different sizes anyway, so you might not need to do that on your rifle, or you may even need either thicker or thinner shim stock. But they normally come in packs, so just have a little experiment if you do decide to do this little modification. With that on, we can reinstall our bottle and get the rifle pressurised up. So, we'll get it screwed on here. The bottle itself is a fairly tight fit in the bottle cover. It's not hard to do up, but it does touch in some locations. It's just touching because the bottle is out of round slightly, so high spots in the lacquer do touch the inside of the bottle cover. You could obviously remove that if that's a problem for you, but I wasn't too bothered. So the valve pin in this particular bottle is a little long. I have ordered a replacement one, but it's a little long, so we do lose a tiny amount of air as we screw the bottle on. So we need to do the last bit a little quick. There we have it there. Bottle's on, and if we look in the side there, we see we're just under 150 bar. But there we have it. That's the complete modification done. Right then, I do just very briefly want to point out that whilst the bottle and the rifle are both rated to 300 bar, the rifle itself wasn't designed with the removable bottle feature, so this is obviously a modification at your own risk. But there we have it. In my opinion, the rifle is a little better proportioned now, so we have a more balanced looking rifle. But the actual length of the 220cc bottle, combined with the carbon shroud we made, I think just makes the rifle look a little more balanced and a little better. So there we have it there. Right then, that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. So, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.